And for more, everyone, I want to bring in our panel right now. We're joined by Ed Cox, chairman of the New York State Republican Party. We've got Dominic Carter, political journalist and author, and Andrew, who you've already met. Take Republican, Democrat, because I think on this one, frankly, there's blame to go around for both parties. If I told you in the days after the shooting of Newtown, we'd be where we are right now, would you have said, yeah, you know, I would have expected it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Unless you had a bill that really addressed the tragedy per se and the way the legislative process works, it would take time. Now, Andrew Cuomo did rush through a bill very quickly. He wanted to be the first one out with a bill. He got it passed, and he did a great disservice to gun control because because it was a badly designed bill. Got criticized for the process by which it went rammed through the legislature, and he dropped 19 points in the Quinnipiac poll down to 55%.
We'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about it, and maybe the 7 clip versus the 10 clip. You're right, but you know what? At the end of the day, think about it. He may have taken a hit, but he got something passed and he got something through. And I think part of that, Dominic, has to do with that they didn't take so long. We were talking about the 5-week rule, right? I mean, think about it now. They're not voting until April. And then, you know, not out of sight, out of mind, because no one's going to forget the tragedy, but politicians have had a lot of time to try and figure out and stake out excuses if they vote, if they don't vote, if they filibuster. I think part of the problem is they've waited too long on this.
Perhaps you're right. Back to your original question, Richard. The chairman says he's not surprised that nothing has happened. I'm in shock. I really am. Having done this for many, many years. There's just no way when you envision what happened in Newtown in terms of those gorgeous babies. Here we are still, and nothing has been done. Watching your interview with Congressman Israel, he used the word political courage several times. That's a word that neither Democrats nor Republicans can use. They're all politicians protecting their own hides, and that's the bottom line.
And you know what, Andrew? Polls sometimes go in one ear out the other because we throw so many at them, but every single element when it comes to this issue, there isn't like a major division. Public, they want background checks. 90%. Can you think of anything the American public can agree on 90%? 90%. And they don't want a little bit. They want universal background checks, period. NRA members want it. They want a database. They want ammo clip restrictions. And they even want the assault weapons ban, which is a non-starter. They can't even think about getting that into the bill right there. And 3 out of 5 Americans want that. I don't know. I just can't remember an issue where the public is so united and so uniform in that they want something. And Washington, and it pox on both their houses, right, for different reasons. And Washington can't even get it up for a vote.
Well, I would offer same-sex marriage as being similar in that the will of the people is changing in a direction and Congress hasn't caught up. But it's another fast-moving issue. Keep in mind, before Newtown, the numbers for all of these things were not majority support. In fact, you had majorities who opposed almost all of the changes or a lot of the changes that are being proposed right now in the gun bill. So,
aren't you making the argument that they should have moved faster on Newtown?
Yes, but then you open it up to the questions of rushing it through and problems down the road. I think this is going to be one of these areas where Congress is lagging behind the public. The question is, can the public campaign keep it up? Can you keep the public in support of these changes? If you can, you'll get the changes through eventually.
I'm not so sure, but we're going to keep this debate going on the other side of the break here. Guns and gun laws. Up next, the 2 most prominent spokesmen on either side of the gun debate, they moved to center stage today. But the question is, do background checks really mean that Obama is coming to take your guns? Some of the hyperbole and flat-out untruths here that are floating around this conversation, making it even harder to get anything done. How the arguments are being made. And then later, did Hillary Clinton just start her 2016 presidential campaign? Why last week's video on same-sex marriage has a lot of folks ready to roll. Stay with us.